Hello there everyone and welcome back. This is Carol from the Crafty Emporium. So this is the third video of the tags that we're going to be making for our country diary journal, and just to quickly recap from the previous video, just in case you didn't get to see it, I created two new digital kits excuse me, which I'm using within this journal, and it's based on vintage cigarette cards and it's an album of wildflowers. Now on the first page I give you a list of ideas that you can use to create things with these, but they are basically full pages of 3 different types of cigarette cards. So just to quickly show you, and then you get a bonus page as well with some pre-made tags that you can utilize, and both the sets have one of those in. So that was set number 1 and this is set number 2, and these will be available in my Etsy store, and I will put the link to my Etsy shop in the description box below, and again you get the extra bonus page as well. Okay, so the first tag that I want to show you, and I'm only showing you quickly each of the tags that I'm going to be making, I actually cut from a full length of cardstock a 2.5 inch wide strip. Okay, so I don't actually need this because I've cut it already. And then I'm going to use my Stampin' Up tag topper punch. Alright, now the space here is for 2 inches, but I actually wanted it to be 2.5 inches wide, and it will slot under. You do need to try and make sure that it's centralized as you're slotting it under, so that you can get an even amount on each side. Just double check that across a little bit further. Okay, and you need to make sure that it's pushed right the way in. So if I turn it over, you can now see that the card is butt up to this end here, and then I'm just going to chop it. Keep my fingers crossed that I've got it centralized. Ooh, not far off. I can trim a bit off though. So now I'm just going to trim those little extended pieces off. Of course, you don't have to do the extension, you could just do the 2 inch, but I know that it fits with the image that I want to use. Okay, so then I'm going to fold this up, but I need to know what length I'm going to fold it up to. Now the image that I'm using is from the digital kit, and it's the central image, and I've actually just cut it off as a strip, and that should now fit on the front of there, and I've inked it up already. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back, and I'm going to use my collal glue. Not coming out very fast. Come on, play with mummy, come on. Thank you. And then I'm just going to sit it at the top there, but leave a border around it. Okay, so now I can see what length I need to fold it at. So I'm now going to fold that up. Just check that I've got the border right on the front. Of course, if I was being a good girl, I would use my my Scorpal. Couldn't think of the word. That's nothing new these days, is it? Me not being able to think of the words. Okay, and I'm just going to square that up, and then I'm going to chop a little bit of the excess off because I want to add this on the back as a pocket. And I'm going to get my circle punch and snip a little thumb hole, open it back up, put glue down the 2 sides, and I'm using my PVA glue for this, and then fold that up, and I've now got a pocket on the back. So I would now ink up around the edges. I would actually ink that up before I stuck that down, but I can slip a piece of paper underneath and just catch the edges of that, and that's a tag all ready to go. The second version I want to show you is using the bonus tag. And so what I did here was I folded a piece of A3 card. Oops, I folded it in half because I knew that this was quite big and a sheet of A4 wasn't quite big enough. So I cut out the bonus tag from out of the digital kit, and then I glued it to the card and then cut off the excess at the bottom. I would then snip off those angles . And I've now got a notebook style tag. I'm going to punch my hole using my crocodile. See, I can remember what it's called now. Let's make sure that's lined up. And as I say, I've now got the notebook style tag. So inside of here, I would actually glue some some lined writing paper on both sides. You could add several sheets to this and not add any to the top piece. So then you've got like a little notepad. You can then decorate the front up as you so wish. You can fussy cut out flowers, use your die cuts. If you watched the previous video, you could do something along similar lines with that by adding the cigarette cards on the front and stuff. All right, so that's the basis of that one. The next one that I'm going to show you again is using the bonus tag, and what I did was I cut both of the tags out and I glued them together just around 3 sides. So I've now got a side opening pocket, and again you can decorate this up as you so wish. So this is a page from an observer's book, Wildflowers, and they come with sort of like this, you know. So again, what I could do is I could cut this off, and I don't have to decorate this side. I could decorate this side if I wanted and have that as the back. All right, but I would cut off that bit of information there, and then I would use that as a pocket. All right, so you could use it as a pocket as it is, or you can add it to some cardstock and then add the cardstock to the tag to make the pocket, and then you could fussy cut around the flower. How are we doing on time? We're all right. So let me just quickly fussy cut around the flower, and I'm just going to do a rough job of fussy cutting it just so as you can get a bit of an idea. You could even make this into a tag itself to then stick into the pocket. It's just about really letting your imagination run away with you and just being a bit creative, really. It's not, there's no rocket science to it, and there's no right and no wrong. Because one of my favourite sayings is, at the end of the day, it's only glue and it's only paper. It's not as though you're hacking into the crown jewels or anything. Okay, let's do it on the other side. So you could add the information on the bottom as the pocket, and then you could add the floral element on the side and then, as I say, you could then put your seam binding or curly wool in as the decoration at the top of the tag, but you've now got this side opening pocket. The third one I want to show you is a 3-fold tag. So what I did here was I cut out the bonus tags again, but you can do this with any cardstock. You could even create your own tag, which I decorated background, which I showed in the previous video. And what I did here, just get my tags out, was I used 3 of them. So I used 2 of the patterned ones and 1 of the plain one. Just get the other one out. Okay. So I just cut out the rectangle part, which was the sides, the tops and the bottom. Keep quiet when I'm concentrating. But I haven't cut the angled bits off yet. And then I want 1 more. Now it's up to you what combination you do with these. You don't have to do it as the 2 patterned ones and 1 plain. You could do all plain, you could do all patterned. And then I cut off the angles. Would then ink up both the front and the back, because we need to remember that it's got, because I printed it onto cream cardstock, it's got the core of the card showing through on the edges, so I would actually ink all of these up. But for speed, I won't do that. You can then take a book page. Now I'm using this vintage dictionary page because it goes well with the background part. Now you could do this with a poly cotton fabric or even a piece of calico, but it's exactly the same kind of thing. So all I'm doing is I'm just ripping the dictionary page. I'm going to tear off a bit of this excess as well. This just happens to be about the right sort of width. Let me just measure it. It's just over 2 inches. Sort of 1.5 inches would do you fine. Okay, and then you would ink these up as well. Yep, leave that. Take a bit off there. So you would need 2 pages for this, of this sort of size dictionary, because we're going to do the outside as well as the inside. Now again, I would ink those up before I actually glue them on, but just for ease of speed, so I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to place glue. Helps if you open it, Carol. Down the centre, and then sort of around this edge, and then some down the middle. Bearing in mind that the words are this way up, so I need to flip that over, and then I'm going to sit that, line it up with the bottom, and sit it roughly in the centre. Now it extends beyond here, I'm not worrying about that for a moment. And then I'm going to put glue on this opposite side. And then I'm going to put this one in the middle, so I'm going to flip it over. Now I'm going to leave a tiny gap, about a 1/16 of an inch. So if I just show you up close, so that's how much of a gap I'm leaving, because I need to be able to fold this, and so I need that space to be able to do that. So now I'm going to do the next dictionary page. And one of the things that I will say about using dictionary pages is, if you're using very old dictionary pages like this one is, they can start to get a little bit brittle. And so what I did was I painted them with some PVA glue to just help to give it that little bit of extra support. The other thing as well, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I forgot what I was going to say then. The other thing as well is that for things like this, I tend to use, the same as with the creating this background, I tend to use the letters of the alphabet that I know that I don't want to use the words of. So like I would use my X's and Y's and Z's, rather than the A, B's and C's that have probably got words in that I want to use. Okay, so that we've now got these then on this side. I would then turn it over and repeat the process on this side as well. I'm not going to do that because there's no need. I think you've kind of got the gist. And then when you fold this in, you need to make sure that it sits slightly shorter than the middle one, so that this one can then sit on top quite comfortably. I want to move that in just a touch. There we go. So if I fold that up, and then I would chop off those excess bits there. Okay, so that's what the front of your tag would then look like, and then obviously you've got the inside pieces as well. So if I just show you the actual tag that I created. So here you can see the paper that I used as the hinge to attach the three pieces together, and then I cut up one of the cigarette cards again and its piece of information, and I attached the information to a piece of card, and then I layered it up with cheesecloth and some lace, and some lace at the bottom here, and then one of the buttons that we created in one of the previous videos, and then I used the curly twine wool for the top of the tag, and then on the inside I used one of the dictionary pages to just create a pocket, and then I used some of my die cuts to just decorate the inside edges. I did the rings for the hole punches again on all sides, and now I've got a 3-fold card tag. Okay, so that's quite a quick one, a quick video, because I think that I covered enough in the previous 2 videos to be able to guide you through. So if I just get all, I'm just getting all the different ones out to show you. Where's it gone? I'm missing one. There we go. So there's 4 different types of tags there that I've just shown you quickly how to make. How you decorate them is entirely up to you. Again, have a look through your book pages. If you want to use the digital kit, then obviously they work out great for these types of tags. So you've got the 3-fold booklet tag, you've got the notepad style tag, you've got the tag topper punched out with a pocket on the back, and then you've got this tag which has got the side opening pocket on it, whether it be that way or that way. Okay, so 4 different types of tags there, as well as the one that I did in the previous video, and the, was it 3 that I did in the basics tag video. But they're great additions, and I personally like really big, fat, long tags because I think it gives you plenty of room for writing in as well. So I hope you've got some inspiration from these videos with regards to the tags for the Country Diary Journal, and the next video will be about using note cards, okay, or index cards I should say. Okay, I think that's me done for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.